Patrick, I think most parents would agree that one of the hardest parts of adjusting to bringing a new baby home is the lack of sleep. Sleep is so important for everybody's physical health, mental health, mom, dad, baby, everybody in the house. And our next guest can fix all of your problems. She actually recently helped me get through a horrific sleep regression with Chloe, where I was dreading going to sleep every night because I didn't think I was going to actually get much of it. Please join me in welcoming Tina Patterson from Sleep Talkers. Hey, Tina.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm much better now that you have come into my life. How are you?
Nice and rested. I'm good. Same. Thank you.
Now, can you tell our viewers a little bit about your background? Because that was part of what really made me want to work with you, was hearing about your background.
Absolutely. So I have a background. Well, I'm a mom, first of all. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. And, when I had my oldest 6 years ago, I didn't really know what to do about this whole sleep thing. You go to classes, you do these things, but you don't actually really learn how to help them sleep. And so at the time I was working in the schools and I had a friend who had just had a baby. And she had her little one sleeping through the night already. She had had a baby 4 months earlier. And I was like, that's it. I'm going to do exactly what she did. And so I did. Read the books, kind of figured things out, knowing myself. I like some predictability, I like a schedule, and I like routine. And so got my little guy like sleeping well. And so then it just kind of snowballed from there. I had my second 2 years later, did the same, and then started helping family and friends and got certified as a pediatric sleep consultant in 2021. And now I've helped moms, kind of all over the US and, the world really get them the sleep that they and their little ones need.
And let me tell you guys, Chloe was waking up 4 or 5 times a night sometimes. And I mean, she was sleeping through the night at a very young age. And then all of a sudden, it was like one day a light switched. And she was like, nope, I don't want to do that anymore. Why is sleep so important when it comes to babies and their development?
So sleep is important to the entire family. So of course, like sleep is important to the development of the baby, letting them, rest their bodies, rest their minds as they're growing and developing. But I also think sleep is really important for the entire family. Like we just talked about this with you and how, anxiety producing it was, even just like going to bed, getting ready for bed, not knowing what Chloe would do, overnight. And so it's really important to also for like the mom, the dad, the family as a whole to really be sleeping well. And so, we all know if we have a crummy night's sleep, you don't feel well the next day. It affects your entire mood, your entire day. And whereas if you then get a good night's sleep the next night, it's like everything's okay again. And so I just really like doing this for the entire family. I like giving moms and dads their evenings back. I like you being able to have a babysitter. You just said you went on vacation and Chloe slept great. So it just gives you options where you just don't feel so stuck and so exhausted day after day after day. And it's something we can work on quickly together.
Now, one thing that I was worried about when I came to you was Chloe was 7, 8 months, adjusted. She was 7, but 8. So when I came to you, I said, is this the right time to sleep train? But there isn't really a right time, is there?
Yeah, I mean, you want them, they need to be at least 10 weeks old from a developmental standpoint in terms of them being able to like learn and start like shaping their sleep differently. So we can start itty bitty. It's very responsive. It's very gentle when they're that little, but we look for 10 weeks at least and 12 pounds. And the 12 pounds is more from the look of weight gain and making sure pediatrician and mom and dad are happy with how they're gaining weight. Because overnight, if we're taking, if we're going for longer sleep stretches and they're taking in less ounces, we want to make sure that's not affecting their weight gain. And besides those two for when they're itty bitty, it's really just when you're ready as a family. Like I'm not judging. I am not telling anyone they're doing anything wrong. If you're, lying with your 3-year-old to get them to sleep every night, like if it's working for you, that's totally fine. But when you're ready to make a change, that's what I'm here for. So it's really just when you're ready for it, when your husband, spouse, partner, whoever it is, like I've worked with single mamas when they just need it. Like it's when you're ready to make that change that I'm here to help you with that.
Now, quickly, because we have less than a minute left, but I want viewers to know, what is the difference between sleep training and cry it out? Because a lot of people here cry it out and panic.
Right. And cry it out is actually a method of sleep training where you basically put baby down and don't go in again until the next morning. That's
Whew.
called extinction. And it's not something that's ever recommended and ever done by sleep consultants. And so there is going to be crying. That's something that I really try to, kind of like get across to the families I work with. But that's their form of protesting. If they're going to learn something different than what they did the night before, there's going to be some crying. But we will decide together how much crying you're comfortable with, how much, based on the personality of your baby too, and we'll come up with the right sleep training method of check-ins and reinforcement and
Yes.
consistency to really help make that, make that happen and make it not too upsetting for anyone.
Yes. Now, thank you so much for explaining that quickly. We put your information up at the bottom of the screen. And for anybody who's looking to work with Tina, she's like your personal cheerleader. So it's great to have somebody there on your team who you can trust. Thank you again, Tina. And thank you for helping me get some sleep.
You're welcome. I'm so glad. And I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Now we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, William T. Stars is here to close the show. Don't go away.